Hello, vintage outboard motor fans. This is T-Mike out here on Toledo Bend Lake making another video today. Today's video is going to be titled Carburetor Wizardry and some fancy tricks on working on your carburetor. We might learn something today. So, Carburetor Wizardry. So, I got a mail-in repair job that came in the mail from David in Austin, Texas. And he wants me to do take a look at his 10 horsepower Johnson carburetor. So I'll text it back and forth with David. He's trying to get his 10 horsepower Johnson 1960s, early model 60s, the almond colored ones. Trying to get it running and take out his 13-year-old son fishing. And he's having trouble with it. And he suspects the carburetor. So I'm pretty sure he's rebuilt it. If you look at the gasket in here, it looks new and it's very clean. The carb bowl looks really clean. It looks beautiful. So I think he's probably rebuilt it and he can't get the motor started. So I'm not sure. He's not sure it's the carburetor. So I have a 10 horsepower test motor outside that I went run. It runs perfect. I could just slip this carburetor on it and see if it works or not. That's one option. Second option, I could take it apart and rebuild it. I have the carb kit to rebuild it and put it on there. I'm just kind of curious to know if it is the carburetor or not before I put it on. So I'm not going to rebuild it. I'm going to do an overview of it with you to try to show you the tricks that I know to determine whether the carburetor is good, is bad or not. So let's do a visual check on it. See if we see anything missing. So first thing is there's a drain plug right here. That is there. That is there. There is also a plug right here. Looks like it's been tapped on and put in. So that plug, you take it out when you soak your carburetor to let the carb cleaner get in all these passageways through some little holes underneath it. So if that plug were missing, it would let air in there and could cause the problem. Like I said, the bowl is clean. It looks good. So let's look at the butterfly valves. So this butterfly valve, the front one, the carb actually sits like this. This butterfly valve is the choke. So he has the screw in there. So on the in position, it's open, letting the air in. In the choke position, it closes and shuts off the air, which increases the vacuum of the piston sucking vacuum, which sucks more fuel. That's what makes it choke. So it's working properly. The other thing we could look at is the throttle. This throttle has linkage that's connected to the cam roller on the magneto. When you throttle up, the cam roller advances the spark and it also opens the throttle. So to see if it's working, you spin the carburetor around and turn the knob and you see that the throttle butterfly is working. So both butterflies work. The choke butterfly and the throttle butterfly are working. So I don't see anything visually on here that would indicate a problem. So next thing I would suspect is that he doesn't have the settings right on the low speed and high speed. So what we're going to do, he's got a unique little setup here. He's got a Allen wrench fixture right here holding this. I'm going to take this off and I'm going to take me a magic marker and I'm going to mark where the needle valves are, and then we're going to see if his needle valves are set right. It could be just the settings wrong on this, so let's do that. Okay, so I'm going to take my magic marker and I'll put two marks. I'm going to mark this right here and right here. So those two marks will tell me how he has it set on that one. And then I'm going to put 2 marks on the bottom one. So I got the bottom one with marks. So now let's take them one at a time and see if we can do some wizardry on it. All right, so I'm going to take this screw out of the way so it doesn't. Right, so the top, that's a low speed. The setting for that is all the way in and then out 1.5, and then work your way in till it runs good at low speed. So normally 1.5 out, I start turning them in. I get to about 1 turn out or less is the setting. So I'm going to put my clamp on here. Okay. And I'm going to start turning in. It should be about 1 turn in. That's 1 turn. And it went about 1/2. So it was at about 1.5. I'm going to put it right back where it was. So that one's not maladjusted, 1.5 out, it should start. So let's take this one now, which is the one I suspect could be his problem. All right, its setting on it is 3/4 in, start it, and then come back until it runs at best at high speed. And normally when I come back, it gets to about 1/2 turn out and it's good. So if I start turning it, I should not go more than 3/4 of a turn. That's 1/2. That's 3/4. Uh-oh. That's a whole turn out. It's 1 whole turn out. That's too much. Could be the problem. I say yeah. He's got it 1 turn out. I'm gonna turn it in 1/4 of a turn, which makes it 3/4 of a turn out, and go run it, see if it does. Now, so while we do that, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put it where he had it, and then see what happens. Now, before we do that, what I'd like to do is I'd like to take the carburetor apart, and now I'd like to look at the setting he has on the float to see if the float is horizontal with the base. That could be his problem too. So I'm going to take these 5 screws off, pull the bottom half off, and then show you how the float is set. Okay, I got the 5 screws off. I'm going to take the bottom half off. And here's the float. I'm going to take the gasket off. Okay, so as I'm looking at it, it doesn't look like it's set right. See how it's leaning down? It's supposed to be up. It's supposed to be right there. It's down. So what that's doing is it's not letting the bowl fill up. It's too close towards being shut off, so it's not filling the bowl up. So I find that what that can cause is the motor to start, but the bowl empties too soon and can't refill, so it doesn't keep running. So that is a problem. That right there is a problem. So we found 2 problems. We found the high speed jet a whole turn out instead of 3/4. It actually should end up being 1/2 turn. So it's like 1/2 turn off, and the float is not perpendicular. So I'm going to fix this right now. Easy fix. Take your pair of pliers and real gently bend this upwards. That's not enough. And that looks like too much. I like that. So it probably was 1/8 of an inch off. I don't think that'll stop it from starting, but it won't. It wasn't properly set. That looks right to me. The float has got to be perpendicular with the base. I like that. So that was a problem. Now I think it's more the setting on the high speed that would be the problem. So I'm going to leave it set like he had it. I'm going to swap his out. Oh, and by the way, I'm going to put it back together now. Okay, the old screw's good. Now I'm going to take a magic marker and the carburetor sits like this facing up. I'm going to put a D for David, so we'll know which carburetor is on my 10. And I'm going to go outside and I'm going to swap them out and we'll do some testing. I'm hoping or willing to bet that this setting on the high speed is his problem. I'm going to leave it set like he had it and see what we get. Here we go. Okay, so here's my car. That came off my 10 horsepower right there. Here's my car. Here's David's car. Now I'm going to take his and put it on my 10 and we'll see how it runs. Okay, sure enough, I'll put it on here, squirt of fuel up the throat. It started right up, ran for about 3 or 4 seconds and died. So I'm going to take the settings here and I'm going to redo them. I'm going to go all the way in, all right, and out 3/4 of a turn. All right. Let's see how it does now. Okay, so I got them set 3/4 out and 1.5 out, and same thing. I spray some of this up it. It starts right up, runs for 2 or 3 seconds and dies. So it's definitely not getting fuel through the carburetor down into the motor. So I'm gonna pull her off and clean her now. I don't think it's the settings. I think he's got a clogged carburetor. So I'm going to take it off and clean it and see how it goes. Okay, I got it all apart now. I'm going to go ahead and clean it. Change all the guts on it, although it looks like it's been changed already. And take her outside and put her back on. See how that goes. Okay, so I cleaned the carb. And no luck. Still doesn't start. It'll run when I spray some fuel up in here, but then it dies. So I ran trouble on it, and let me show you what I found. If I disconnect the fuel line, well, and I'll pump the bulb, I got the fuel come out. So I got fuel here. When I plug it in here, and got fuel plugged in, and I take the high-speed jet out, and I pump the bulb, nothing comes out of here. Okay, nothing comes out. It should. Okay, here's my working carb. I take it over here and I'll remove the high-speed jet. and I'll connect my fuel line to it right here. Connect my fuel line to it. Watch when I pump the bulb. Well, I gotta tighten it up. So if I tighten it up, I stand it up, and I'll pump the bulb. Look at the gas come pouring out of the high-speed jet. So the problem is between here, it's between here and the high-speed jet. Okay, when I cleaned the carburetor, I noticed the carb was completely dry inside. So the fuel is not getting into the bowl. Problem's got to be, because it's good here, right? But it's not good here. Problem's got to be right here somewhere. Okay, they got the carb in here, and I got it taken apart. There was gas in the bowl right here, but look how dry everything is. The gas never got into the bowl. It got into the filter, so the path is from here into the filter, and then air. Here's a path for something that comes through here. So I'm going to take this off right here and run something through it and see if the path must come out and get into the bowl. Through here. From here to here. Something's clogged up between here and the bowl. Something from here to there. I'm going to take it apart and see if I can find it. Carburetor Wizardry. As I'm looking at it, it's obvious that the float is not opening to let the gas in, and I got the float in backwards. That tab has got to be down. And I'm pretty sure that's how it was. That's how it was when it came to me. I'm pretty sure that the carburetor Wizardry was a float put in reversed. That is the problem all along. I'm going to reverse this float and take it outside. It's probably going to work fine. That reverse float wasn't letting the gas come up through this jet to get into the bowl. All right. I'm going to reverse it, hook it to my hose and pump it and watch fuel come out of here, and then I'll know it's good. Here we go with that. Now it's in right, because that little arm is what stops it from going all the way. That's the right way. This needle valve was on the wrong direction when I took it off and put it right back. I put it right back on reversed. That's gonna fix it. Let's see. Okay, I got the carb back on it with the fuel line hooked to it, and look at the fuel pouring out of it. A reverse float will cause the fuel not to fill up in the bowl. Now it's coming out. I'm gonna put her on there and she's gonna run. Carburetor Wizardry. I won't let that happen again. I'm gonna remember this one. Okay, I got the carb back on it with the fuel line hooked to it, and look at the fuel pouring out of it. A reverse float will cause the fuel not to fill up in the bowl. Now it's coming out. I'm gonna put her on there and she's gonna run. Carburetor Wizardry. I won't let that happen again. I'm gonna remember this one. Did it. It runs great. Davis carburetor, the float was reversed on it. Found a few other minor things. Found the float wasn't adjusted. This setting was, now it's about, right now, ISP setting is about a half a turn out. That's where it needs to be. So I'm gonna tighten up the packing nuts, make sure it sticks, and I'm gonna ship it back. So the moral of the story is, carburetor wizardry means looking at all the details. Had I caught that float backwards when I first looked inside, it would have saved me a lot of trouble. So hope y'all enjoyed the video. I enjoyed making it. See y'all next time. Well, I hope y'all enjoyed the video. I know I enjoyed making it. If you did, hit the like button and also hit the subscribe button and catch all my videos. You know, my passion are these vintage outboard motors. Johnson and Evinrude, 1950s, 60s, and 70s, 3 horsepower to 18 horsepower. I think I have all the videos, over 500 videos, on everything you need to know to repair, service, and restore your vintage outboard motors. I have all the parts, all the videos, and all the parts manuals for you to do that. I love what I do. The best way to reach me is on my website, tmikevintageoutboards.com. You go to that website, I have links for everything you need. I have links for all the parts you need. If you don't know the parts you need, there's a link called the Parts Broker where you can fill out the form and submit it to me, and I'll find your part for you. All right. I also have a link for a mail-in repair service where you can ship me your carburetor, your gear case, or your magneto. I'll repair it, video it, put it on YouTube, and ship it back to you. I also have a link for technical consulting. If you have a question, just fill out the link. There's a donation page if you want to help pay T-Mike, and I'll answer your question and get back to you. That's the best way to reach me, is on my website, tmikesvintageoutboards.com. I love what I do. It's been a great ride. And remember, always remember, and never forget, here at T-Mike's Vintage Outboards, we're doing it one motor at a time.